But first up, he is the ultimate rock and roll rebel. Also, somehow found time to become a really good actor. His new book is called Unrequited Infatuations, a memoir. My good friend Stevie Van Zandt is over here. I won't give you anything. I know you can't get anything.
I'll take it.
Okay. Okay. Hi, crazy. I finally get you in my torture chamber.
Only 30 years in the making.
I know. So I'm going to make the most of it. First of all, I just got to tell you, the book, I gobbled it up. It's fantastic. The title, first of all, Unrequited Infatuations. Awesome title. I bet you there are so many authors out there saying, I wish I thought of that for a title. It says so many things. The other title I want to get to, the Rock and Roll Rebel, I said it there. You named your box set after that. It was years in the making, that title, right? And I feel like even among rockers who are rebels, you're a rebel among rebels. You think that's true?
Well, at the time,
Yeah.
you know, politics wasn't cool, you know, in our business. I mean, it's one of those show business things, right? Stay away from politics and religion, which, you followed.
It's been my mantra my whole career, Stevie.
So I just kind of jumped in and made that my identity. I was looking for, growing up in the 60s, everybody had a very, very distinct identity. And when I left the E Street Band, I was like, well, how do I justify my existence? And I thought, I'll be the political guy, talking about that stuff.
And see, I know you say you left because, you wanted more in the decision-making process. But actually, when I look at what you went from there, I don't know how you could have coexisted, because you just wanted to be so much more political. And, I mean, a theme throughout the book and your life is you losing money.
Well, it's not something...
or foregoing money that could have been, money that was on the table, that you did not rake in, because you chose this other path, because you are the rock and roll rebel. I mean, I don't know how you could not have, can I just go through, I mean, the name of your albums from the 80s, they were all so, Revolution, Freedom, No Compromise, right? I mean, Voice of America. Do we have those pictures from those albums? Because I just got to say, what was the look you're going for there, Stevie? Is it? I really think I'm in...
Whatever was in the closet.
A lot of mascara. Okay.
It's a look.
But the point is, you wanted to be this guy who did something. I've always said this about music. I think a lot of musicians, they big themselves up about they can change the world. But what you did in South Africa really did kind of change what was going on there.
It was a lot of people involved. Not just us, the four Musketeers, me, Danny Schechter, Arthur Baker, and Hart Perry, but it was really, from the United Nations to all of the unions in Europe. It was a big movement. And we kind of lit that. We did light that spark. We did light the fuse.
But wasn't it your idea to go after Sun City?
Yeah.
I mean, if people don't remember, I vaguely remember this, that Sun City was kind of like the Las Vegas of South Africa, right? It was this, and I remember everybody played it. Yeah. Frank Sinatra opened it, but lots of people who are known as big liberals in the music industry probably don't want to be reminded, because and there was this pressure that you put on. It was like, why are you going there to South Africa? This is an apartheid regime.
Yeah, and we made a decision, let's assume that they were manipulated, which they were, and let's not have an infighting amongst the music people. Let's keep our eye on the ball, because we had a bigger goal in mind, which was to raise enough consciousness to get the sanctions bill passed, which we knew when it came up, Ronald Reagan was going to veto it, because he was part of that unholy trinity supporting apartheid, him, Thatcher, and Kohl, UK and Germany, And Reagan was God in those days, man. He was this, the grandfatherly cowboy, happy cowboy. and all these crimes are going on, behind the scenes. And we needed to raise that consciousness enough that when the sanctions bill came up, which was really the home run, sports boycott first, which was in place, cultural boycott, which is what we did, and then the economic sanctions. And once they came up, he did veto it, and we overrode that veto because we had raised the consciousness so much. And Republicans voted for it. Okay, Richard Lugar and Republicans voted for the sanctions bill. Can you imagine Republicans voting so black people could vote?
Different era. Very different era, yeah.
Yeah.
And you did all that, and yet you still didn't starve. You still have some money. And
no, the money thing. It's not the money thing so much. It's
well,
I've had wonderful successes, and I don't want to ever sound ungrateful about E Street Band and Sopranos and Lilyhammer and the Sun City Project. My own personal, my most personal stuff. My personal records that you just put on the screen up there, have not found an audience. And the point is, you're going to go through life, you're going to have some frustration, and you're going to have some disappointment, and everybody is, and that's where the universal themes start to happen, But it's not a matter of are you going to be disappointed, it's what do you do with it? What do you do after that, Do you give up and throw in the towel, or do you kind of find a way to move forward? And I hope the book is useful that way,